All right. What it is, what it ain't, what it shall be. How are y'all doing today? It's another episode of For the Blurcher. I'm joined by the usual suspects today, Jay and RJ. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good, man.
Doing great.
All right, all right. And we have three super special guests today. We have the Blerd Up crew, Monique and Cam. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good. Glad to be here.
Yep.
Hey, glad to have you guys on. And of course, we have the lovely Desiree. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Hey, I'm fantastic. I'm glad to be doing this live with all of y'all. Yeah, let's get right into it. Today we are talking about the new episode of WandaVision. We
Yeah.
interrupt this program. First of all,
Oof.
let me ask y'all, how did you like the episode today? Cam, I'm gonna start with you, man.
Nice departure. So I like the fact they put things on pause because a nerd like me that watches this stuff and just tries to dig in, I was starting to get frustrated because I didn't know what was going on. So the fact that they put us behind the camera, I was good. That was good.
All right, Des.
I have to agree with Cam because I feel like watching it beforehand, it was kind of like one of those things where you had to know the comic, you had to know what was going on. A little bit of a slow burn, but with this episode, I feel like we've gotten a lot more answers, and so I'm happy with that. I really liked it.
Definitely, definitely. Miss Mo, how'd you feel about this episode?
Yeah. I think it was the best episode so far. I mean, it basically filled in all of the holes. Like while everybody was sitting here reviewing what was going on in the first three episodes, it was like, all right, y'all, we gonna take it back just a little bit and fill in these holes so y'all know what was going on. And I was like, thank you, because I was driving myself crazy trying to figure out what was going on. And I'm glad I know a little bit more now.
Okay.
I totally agree. RJ, how you feeling?
Man, it shut me up because y'all know I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it. It was too slow for me. I'm one of those people who like my instant gratification. When I watch horror movies, I go on Wikipedia and I see who dies, so that way I know to expect it.
Oh
So for
man.
me, it was like it was killing me not knowing what's going on. So I'm glad I got a little bit of more information.
All right, Jay, how you feeling?
Whew. Man. Uh, this episode, it hit me, man. I loved it. I loved everything about it. That's it.
All right. Well, honestly, I feel the same. I feel like this was the best episode that we've gotten so far. Definitely gave us a lot of answers that I know a lot of people were probably looking for. Um, and yeah, so let's just get right back into it. The episode starts off with the snap back. We see people coming in uh, after they've been dusted. And I think that this might have been the first time that we saw people actually come back.
Hmm.
Am I correct on that? Is that something?
Yeah, I think you are. I think they just showed up in Endgame. I don't think we saw them rematerialize.
Hmm. And I thought that was really dope because it kind of shows the chaos that's ensuing
Right.
at that time, and that's when we first get a actual real life look at Miss Rambeau. The doctor comes in, she's like, "Where'd you go?" And that kind of threw me off at first because I was like, "What do you mean? Where did she go? Don't you know that these people were just kind of disappeared?" How did y'all feel about the first little scene right there? Jay, I'm gonna start with you, man.
Oh man. Well, you know me. I think that there's just too much to say. I think this first scene pretty much set off um, explaining what's happening in the universe and with all this blip stuff, because I was watching Spider-Man Homecoming the other day, and there's like a 5 year gap split between the universe. I mean, this isn't like a spoiler or anything. This is just like my thought, and I think that something interesting is going to happen, but it's just I really don't know. I can't put my finger on it. So, but that's my opinion on it.
Okay, okay. RJ, shooting it to you next.
Man, this opening scene, and I'll tell y'all, a little bit when we get off the live. I'll tell you about some things that I thought I had, or why I felt this way about the scene. Now, use the word chaos. Man, that's the perfect word to describe what was going on, because people that have been missing for years just rematerialize and nobody knows what's going on. People are running in the hall and running into people as they're rematerializing. So now I thank you, Disney Plus, for the answers, but now I have more questions. If you were in a plane, do you just rematerialize where you were at in the sky? So now it's like, I don't understand. Do you rematerialize where you were at? Like, I'm grateful for the answers, thank you, but now I have more questions. But yeah, to answer your question, I thought that first scene set the intensity, and it kind of gave us answers, which is what we needed with WandaVision, because they've been teasing us for a while.
Honestly, I didn't even think about the rematerializing if you were in a plane or something like that. That is very interesting.
Well, a
But
submarine
Mo, how you?
going underwater.
I'm over here like, dang it, RJ.
All right, I'm gonna shoot the question at Mo. How you feeling about this first scene?
Thought it was really interesting because, again, this is the first time we get to see, people blipping back into the world, into the universe. So it gave viewers something to think about, or something that I really didn't think about when the blip happened, because you're right, in Endgame, the heroes just appeared, and Far From Home, there was some time between, the blip and everything when the movie started. So that's something I didn't really think about. Like, what if you were in a hospital? What if you were in somewhere where you were waiting on, somebody recovering in the hospital, a loved one? And you also think about, too, like, man, when Monica hears that, her mother has passed away, that hurt me a little bit, because I was like, dang, she didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to her mom, and it gives you a little bit extra to think about, like, okay, these people have been gone, but their loved ones, that their time kept on going. If you're lucky if you blip back and your loved one is still there,
Agreed. That was, yeah. And when she got blipped back, her mom had just gotten out of a perfect surgery. So I can only imagine how that would make her feel, just knowing that.
Devastating,
Yeah, devastating for sure. Des, how you feeling about it?
It definitely gave me a lot of Bird Box vibes, with just like kind of the chaotic, I don't know how to say it, but just the chaos ensuing and everybody running around and reappearing. And so, yeah, that was kind of crazy. And it's funny to think about, like, the close-up of Monica's particles kind of like, reshaping and reappearing, because it wasn't like ash looking like in the movie. It was like really saturated in a way. So I thought that was interesting, and that was well done. And is everyone reappearing because of Hulk snap? Was that what did it?
Yeah.
Okay, just make sure I have that right. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I thought it was crazy, but it was nice to see.
Yeah, it definitely gives you new perspective on what's going on, for sure. And that's a good comparison with Bird Box, the chaos, everything going on. Cam, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, just kind of going to echo what you guys said. Like Des said, the scene was beautiful. I love the effect of her rematerializing. It reminded me of Walking Dead, the very first episode. And it set the tone for the whole episode for me. Something that Marvel does really good at, switching from comedy to like very serious tones. So I was here for it. As soon as it started, I was like, oh, we getting a good one today.
My man Cam.
Yeah, I think that this episode was definitely a good look. They kind of reel you in with the slow narrative in the first couple episodes that we saw, and then now we actually get the behind the scenes of what's actually going on. I thought that was really cool that they did that. And after all this chaos ensues, we see Monica Rambeau going to her job at Sword headquarters, which is the space version of SHIELD. When I first saw this, I kind of, in my head, I was like, it looks a lot less sophisticated than Shield was, but everyone just came back from a blip, so it's probably, I'm not sure. How y'all feeling about Shield? RJ, I'm going to shoot to you for this one first.
I mean, I get it. It's not exactly going to be Shield right now, because, like I said, everybody's coming back from a blip. I also like the fact that how Monica Rambeau was kind of accepting of the fact that she's not, I guess, the director, because I forgot what his name was, but I like how gracious she was in accepting the fact that she wasn't here and the leader had to be appointed. And that just shows how she knows what needs to be done and she's willing to sacrifice her ego and her pride. So I'm interested to see how things play out with that organization from here.
Agreed. Cam, how you feel about Sword so far?
Sword got me excited because now it's like they're opening up the universe more for like the space, and we know that there's certain properties within Marvel that are going to be folding into the universe. So I was like, but then there was also something about it that kind of pissed me off. The whole thing with Monica, dude, if you had an appointment with her, make sure her badge, like, what was that? the security guard was like, well, I guess you don't, well, I forgot what he said, but it was some ignorant shit, and I ain't like it, so.
Yeah, you would think the security guard would know the daughter of the previous director of Sword, like, but guess not.
So I was side-eyeing at that point.
The security guard said that it is not my job. That's what he said.
And he was mad rude about it too, which kind of irritated.
Extremely rude, especially after all these people just got blipped back. I figured some people would have come in with the same problem, be a little bit more considerate of people, you know what I mean? Des, how you feeling about Sword so far?
Sword is very interesting because when I was looking at sort of like the outside shot of it versus like how it looked inside, I noticed like the shuttle launch pads, and it kind of was reminiscent of the Peaks space station that was in the post-credit scene with Nick Fury in Far From Home. And well, let's go into Tyler Hayward because I can't stand that guy. I thought he was very rude to Monica. He has this position now to where she has to kind of get used to the fact that, okay, like, I'm here and he's kind of here. But I love like the smart remarks that they kind of gave each other when he was saying basically that space is full of threats. And she was like, yeah.
Uh-oh. I think we lost Desiree. We'll add her back when she logs back in. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Cliffhanger. So, Mo, how are you feeling about Sword so far?
I think Desiree was going to touch on this a little bit, but it might not look like much on the outside, but I think there's more to it than that we're seeing. And I think, Desiree, you were right when you were saying something like, the end credit scene from Far From Home. Maybe they don't do much, on Earth, but maybe in space, they've got those ships out there that Nick Fury is currently rolling around on, making sure going around to other places, making sure they're safe, maybe with Captain Marvel. I don't know. But I think they might be more focused on what's going out in the universe, since their biggest threat so far has come from the universe than what's going on Earth.
I totally agree. Des, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was just going to say in reference to what Monica was saying about also having allies, I think is kind of in reference to some of the Skrulls that she became friends with as well.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even think about that. My mind went straight to Captain Marvel. That was the only thing I thought of.
Right.
Yeah, but she had
Jay,
like
a
line at the beginning, didn't she?
Monica?
When Monica was rematerializing, there was some dialogue in the background, and I think part of it came from Captain Marvel.
Yes,
It
you're
did.
right.
You know what?
Trouble. I think she said like Lieutenant Trouble or something like that, which was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That was her nickname.
I did not even catch that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Okay,
a good
Marvel.
catch.
All right. Yeah.
Jay, how you feeling about Sword
And then
so
also
far?
with Sword, like I wonder if sorry, but with Sword, I wonder if
Oh, you
this
good.
also kind of like a setup for Fantastic Four, because remember Hayward was talking about robotics and nanotech, and it just kind of got my mind working. Like, this is a setup. But
We are actually probably going to talk about that in a little bit too, because of some stuff that was mentioned. But Jay, let me get your answer. How are you feeling about Sword so far?
I've been trying so hard to hold in so much information I've been trying to say. But nah, so I think with Sword, what's going on? Obviously in the comics, Monica was a part of Sword, some different story arcs and all that. This is the nerd in me, so I mean, Cam, you'll probably tie along with this pretty well. But I just wanted to back up actually on what Cam and Mo did actually say. So Cam mentioned what's going on as far as the universe, and then Mo said there's like a presence in the universe with Nick Fury, and why he's on that ship with the Skrulls. So long story short, I think what's going on with Sword is that I did mention in our last video that there might be something going along with the Fantastic Four, because there's a lot of stuff like Mo and Cam were talking about in the universe, universal cosmic energy that is flowing in the universe. The Fantastic Four are basically an exploration group, and they might have to go out on a mission and explore that. And I think that might be a great way, because Cam was mentioning that a lot of people are starting to come into this universe, starting to open up, and I think we might start seeing stuff like with X-Men characters, maybe some X-Men characters. So I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
So with this new episode, we saw two major returns of two kind of side characters. First one we see is Agent Whoop. The last time we saw him was Ant-Man and Wasp, and he shows you a really cool card trick that Ant-Man showed him in Ant-Man and Wasp. I thought that was really interesting. But in this scene, it shows them over at Westview. They're talking to a couple sheriffs, and they're like, "Where's Westview? Where's everyone there?" And the sheriffs are just completely mind wiped of Westview. I work in Eastview. Westview isn't a place. And that kind of just opens the door to something weird's going on here. And then we see Miss Rambeau start to investigate, puts a drone in there, drone disappears. She walks up to where the drone disappears and she sees this field. She starts to touch it and gets sucked in. And that is where I think the suspicion of something really definitely weird is going on here. And that's where we go into our second review, the return of Darcy Lewis, who is now a doctor, is a doctor in astrophysics. And this is where we start kind of talking about the cosmic energies and the stuff like that. The CMBR, the cosmic microwave background radiation. So I'm just going to ask you guys, how do y'all feel about this cosmic wave going on? What do you think's going on with all that? How do you think Wanda is kind of just putting it out into the universe? Jay, I'm going to start with you, man.
I think that with the cosmic universe stuff, I think what's going on is, as far as the Fantastic Four, as I was saying, that there's going to be a lot of radiation and energy that's going to be explored, that's going to lead to different planets and different sources, because I think we'll start seeing some different worlds opening up and start seeing some more, like I said, space exploration. So it's going to be really interesting to see if, they start opening up different enemies, like as far as Galactus, or exploring characters farther beyond that, or with the Eternals might tie into this. We don't know, but I think it's going to be very interesting. I think, like, I agree with Cam. What Cam said, it's going to open up so many opportunities in this universe.
I agree totally. And with that, Cam, I'm gonna shoot it right over to you, man.
Okay. So the thing that stood out when they were discussing like where that energy kind of came from, they said something like the Big Bang, and I was like, wasn't that the stones? Isn't that how the stones were like formed? And then Wanda's power comes from the stones. So I'm like, okay, that's important. But I don't like the director guy of Sword. Like when he chimed in and he knew what it was, I side-eyed him again, like, why do you know that? Like, so as you can see, I've got a thing for him. I'm like watching him really closely because I don't feel like he kosher, man. I feel like something's up with him.
Yeah, he definitely has some sinister something going on with him for sure.
Yeah. But glad to see Darcy and Agent Wu, though. Just to know that these characters are bridging the gap between the series and the movies, that's just awesome. I mean, possibilities are endless there.
Yeah, and so sorry to interrupt you, Cam. To back up off that, I think that I was watching Ant-Man today, and they were talking about wavelengths as they were mentioning, and so there's a scene where I think he goes into the quantum zone, and what happens is he hears something in the back of his head, and it's Hank Pym's voice, and he says, "Don't mess with the wavelengths." And he somehow comes back. That whole time he was in the quantum realm, but the question is, how long was he in that time? That's still not really explained, because the time we're in right now is not the same as we're in like in some other astral plane or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, like time works differently. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna shoot the question at you, Mo. What you think?
Yo, first of all, when Jimmy Woo rolled up and pulled that card trick, I was in my mind. Him and Scott Lang are best friends now. I bet you that they hang out like every single day. But yeah, I thought that was cool how they did a little throwback to Ant-Man and the Wasp. But thinking about the CMBR energy, I don't know. I kind of thought about going back to what Cam was saying when they were basically that energy is radiation left over from the Big Bang. I think something or other like that. Wikipedia. I tried to look it up on Wikipedia. But it could be that because Darcy was saying that, there is the radiation right now coming off from this world this reality that Wanda has built. It's at a safe level right now, but it's getting more dangerous. It's getting higher. So maybe Wanda is on the verge of basically creating her own world at this point, along with, and that's where the energy is coming from. And I go back to what Jay was saying earlier, that could possibly lead to, I'm not sure if it's going to fit into this story, or maybe the Fantastic Four come along to say, hey, this energy was created from Wanda's world or reality that she's building. Let's play around with it, and we can get, their whole Fantastic Four story. I don't know, but it could be at this point, or I'm thinking that the reason why, that radiation is rising is because the more Wanda keeps going on with this, the whole TV show, the reality, maybe she's just building her own little separate world in that town.
Honestly, I feel like that would be a really good way to integrate the Fantastic Four into this new universe, because cosmic rays, she's kind of making them and just kind of doing her thing with that. So I think that would be honestly a very easy way for them to slip that in there. RJ, how you feeling about it?
I really like Mo's point that the cosmic rays, maybe Wanda, using more and more and more. I feel like people don't realize just how powerful Wanda is, and I feel like she's vastly underrated. In what she can do. She's not just this, and she just doesn't do this and red. She's powerful. And I think that what this does is it gives us a little flash of what she's capable of. This woman is so powerful; she can create an alternate reality. All of this at the end of the episode, they said it's Wanda. It's all Wanda, and I think that's a testament to just what this radiation is it's literally Wanda. And I feel like anyone who can create an alternate reality so strong enough that you yourself can get lost in it, I'm with it. I feel like I said before, her powers are vastly underrated and she's way underused. So I'm looking forward to seeing just WandaVision explore her powers and kind of give us, the real of what she can do. And I think the CMBR is a great way to integrate not only that, but to introduce more MCU characters that we've been deprived of for so many years.
What was that Okoye said? Why was she up there all this time?
If she can do that, why was she up there all the time?
Why was she up there?
For real.
For real, agreed. One of the most powerful women in the MCU by far. Des, how you feeling about it?
Well, firstly, I agree with everyone, and I will say that for me, I think that not only is I think it's a combination of Wanda and also the CMBR creating this altered reality as well. And I think that she's personally, this is my opinion though, I think she's trying to resurrect Vision's corpse through the cosmic radiation that was enhanced by the Infinity Stones.
Okay.
Deep.
I agree. Also, that brings me to
that.
a point that I had been thinking of since the start of the show when Darcy says, when they find out that it's being broadcast on the old TVs, she's like, he's dead, isn't he? Not blipped, but he's dead. That kind of made me think, like, I've been thinking this the whole time. Like, I really thought he was dead. I didn't know what was going on with that. And then we actually get a glimpse of him all grayed out, head caved in, somewhat very terrifying.
Somewhat terrifying.
Definitely going to be a Halloween costume this year, I will say. How are y'all feeling about Dead Vision, Mo?
Oh man, that was just traumatic to see because up until that point, I was like, well, is Vision alive? Like, he's got to be alive, like, right? Like, she brought him back, but then when you see his face all grayed out and the spot where Thanos removed the stone, I'm just like, oh, he dead. Like, I don't know if she's reanimating his corpse or what, but he dead.
That man gone. For real. Cam, how you feeling about it?
I liked it. I thought the design was cute, so I was like here for it. I looking at the technical aspect, just understanding what happened to him, and it also made me think about his behavior in the previous episodes, which kind of put me in a position to think that on a subconscious level, he also knows what's going on, and he's almost going to be the hero of the series. I'll save it for later, but yeah, I was just like the way they were interacting with each other. It kind of changed my outlook on what was happening. So,
okay. RJ, how you feeling?
I might need a little bit of time to marinate on that. Yeah, I feel like Dead Vision for one was terrifying. When she kind of yelped, I kind of yelped. It really caught me off guard. Like he was grayed out. He looked like a corpse, and it just it's creepy. But to go off what Cam said, I feel like maybe subconsciously Wanda may also know that Vision is dead, and I feel like that may be what kind of helps break that wall, and we can I feel like we're gonna see it slowly but surely kind of become her actual reality, where she realizes that she's not in that she's in a reality that she herself has created.
Okay, I like that.
Hey,
I like
Shannon,
that.
no, you're not too
Jay,
late.
huh? Jay, how you feeling, man? Dead Vision.
Dead Vision. I mean, I think it's cool. I think I have to agree with RJ. You know, I think a lot of people are asking why, and it's I think it's everyone. You know, why is Vision alive? You know, but I think it's the placement of where this takes place is in like these other films that we've seen. It's an event that has not still been explained yet because Marvel, as Cam was saying, does a good job of really focusing on like storytelling, but like kind of giving that like extra little mystery right then and there. And I just think that it's going to be very interesting to see how this wall that RJ is talking about is going to eventually break, because Sword obviously.
Hello.
Technical difficulties, people. Okay.
All right. So, well, then let me guess. I guess I'll just shoot to my second question. Maybe when they get back, we'll come back. Oh,
Yeah. No. Sorry. I was trying something. Didn't work. Yeah.
all right. So, is he coming back? No.
The
Okay.
suspense.
So, let me just say, through
People like
I was like, Wanda's altering the episode, y'all.
It's Wanda.
Wanda's messing with us. She's not liking what we're coming up with. But as we get through this whole episode, you do see a bunch of different aspects of Wanda's power. The cracks that we kind of see in the previous episodes, where you hear the radio chatter in the radio in the pool house episode, and when you see the beekeeper come up, we see on the real world side, you see it was a dude in a hazmat suit coming in. You see him change into the beekeeper. You just kind of see how Wanda is just like, no, this is not in my reality. We're changing it. And then at the end of it is when we actually get to see her power, like real life power, not the TV power that she has, where she just kind of shoots Rambeau out. And I thought that was very interesting. So how are y'all feeling about that? RJ. And then there was 3.
I'm sorry, I was removing them. What was the question? Where are we at?
How are you feeling about Wanda actually showing her whole power and just kind of showing that it's her behind all this stuff?
I like it. Like I said before, I feel like she's definitely one of the most underrated mutants. I feel like even we talked about Quicksilver last live, and how I feel like his power was definitely underutilized. I feel like he was killed in a way that he shouldn't have been killed, and I feel like it's one of those things where we've got to see her, do a fushigi ball and things like that. But I feel like now we're at a point with Wanda where we can kind of see her. I guess reach her, Omega level, for lack of a better term. But I definitely like the fact that, and to talk about with, I think Shayna in the comments had said, when she shot Monica Rambeau through all of them walls and out of reality, I was like, yo, she got it like that? Like, she really got it like that? So for me, I can't wait to see what other powers we end up learning that Wanda is capable of in the future.
I will also say that when she did shoot her out of there, I know myself, I would have had the wind knocked out of me like a mug. I would not have been able to breathe, let alone say it's all Wanda. Mo, how are you feeling about Well, how you
Man,
feeling about the powers?
man, oh man. I'm gonna tell y'all, when I saw this scene and she was like, no, you don't belong here. This isn't where you're supposed to be. And she shot Monica through that wall. I thought back to Willow and Buffy the Vampire Slayer when when she went dark. I thought that was Wanda in that exact scene. I felt like the anger in her face, Wanda, as she was sending Monica through that wall. And like quite literally, as soon as Monica hit through the walls and went through those walls, I was like, well, yeah. So, yeah, it was like it took like a little bit of a turning point there because again, in the first 3 episodes, we get the little, ditzy Wanda cleaning dishes and cooking dinner and stuff like that. All of a sudden, she was like RJ said, Omega level mutant, basically. Well, I know it's not mutant right now, but basically Omega level, and she showed that to us, how dark she can get and how powerful she is with that one scene.
Honestly, I agree totally. And I hope they do integrate the use of the word mutant into this franchise sometime because I'm tired of saying enhanced. I'm like, y'all are mutants.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's
are...
too much.
Jay, how you feeling about the powers at the end there?
So the powers at the end, well, I like the words that Mo used was the Omega level because she is an Omega level mutant, and I think that it's really cool that she got those powers because once she traveled through, it's a matter of how she got those powers. I mean, did it come through Wanda? Maybe some of it did, but what else maybe enhanced those powers and created her to come out like that? Because she didn't have to come out with powers, But I guess there's something that's spiritual in that in her universe, or it was just from when she hit her with that little blast that sent her through like 8 walls. So I mean, I think that there's something dark to that that we don't know yet, and we don't know what's going to happen. But I'm excited to see how our powers are going to be revealed.
Agreed. Cam, how you feeling about it?
So I was trying to hold off last episode and say this isn't all Wanda, but it is. But I don't think it's her by herself. And the thing that I like about it, let's be honest about who Scarlet Witch is. She's always had a difficulty with duality, good and bad. Mm-hmm. I think they're setting her up to be the villain in Phase 4. I don't think she comes out of this as the good person. I think she comes out of this going haywire.
And see, I agree with that to an extent. It's just because it's hard because I feel like Marvel's playing with us at the same time. But I do agree with you, Cam. I think she might be the villain. But then again, I think something else is going to happen that might trigger another villain off of her, or somebody might be operating on her to like twist her mind. So it's tough, man.
Look, are we ready for predictions? Because like she's not by herself.
Cam, don't get me started. Don't you get me started.
She's a willing participant, but she's not by herself. Let's not forget these commercials for Hydra and stuff we've been seeing. So
okay, well,
yeah,
good point.
So her. And there's other people within that town that have go back to the policeman. I think she got them out of that town. There's no law enforcement there. I think they were in that town and she got them out. And that's why they can't remember anything. But also looking at the big picture of what's happening here, again, I feel like Vision is going to be the protagonist along with Rambo. But there's somebody else between Dottie and what's her name, Agnes.
Yeah.
They haven't been identified.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, Cam, because Agnes was not on the wall, as you guys were mentioning, at the beginning. So when they were, taking all the people and placing them like who they think is under this operation. So that's a really good point. And to my opinion, I want to talk about Darcy. I think what's going on too is like going back to like the cosmic energies. Because I was watching Thor 2, to kind of prepare for this today. I was watching Thor: The Dark World, and Darcy, there was a scene where she was operating with Jane Foster on the cosmic waves and the seismic energy that is being infiltrated by whatever's going on in the universe that's coming to Earth. So I think that she mentioned in the movie, these wavelengths are getting bigger. And in Ant-Man, they say the same thing. These wavelengths are getting bigger. You can't mess with it. There's this energy in this field. So I don't know. There's just so much going on.
This is one of those shows that, and I even said it before we went on live. It was like the show is really like 12 minutes. It feels like, but in those 12, because if you like hit pause right when the end credits hit, there's a big chunk of time left. Those credits roll, so we're not getting a lot of We're not getting a lot of, I guess, screen time with these characters. But for some reason, I feel like they've put so much thought, effort, and continuity into these short times that is making us having to go back and study, these old Marvel movies. And it wouldn't surprise me if at some point there's going to be like a Marvel Cinematic Universe course being taught at film school somewhere, because they've done such a good job of intricately weaving. Whoa, intricately.
Yeah, you said it right.
You got it. Come on, man.
Yeah, sewing the Marvel universe together. It's done so well, and I feel like that's what Marvel fans appreciate, is the continuity and the fact that they know their audience is intelligent, and they do these little things and plant these little Easter eggs in there because, not to brag, but we deserve these Easter eggs. We've been here from the beginning, so yeah, I like what they're doing and treating their fans with, respect and intelligence by putting these little things in there. And I definitely will say that I thought this show was one of those kind of like, it's slow, but it's really not. This is the kind of show that you have to study during and after you've watched it.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed. And with that, predictions, Cam, we kind of heard yours, but did you have anything to add on that?
Oh, yeah. So the thing that's making this a little bit.
Wait. Hold on, Cam.
Get ready. Get ready, because I'm going to change.
Had to change the screen up.
I'm going to change the way y'all watch this show. I'm going to change the way y'all watch this show now here.
Okay.
So, like Jay said, Fantastic Four, I think Agnes was introduced in the Fantastic Four comics. So that's number one.
Yep.
It's playing a bigger part. But change the way you're looking at Wanda. She's a witch. She's conjured a whole town up, 2 babies. Who do witches deal with?
Babies.
They deal with the devil, which is Mephisto.
Right?
That's who I think is ultimate. I think she's a willing participant, but I think he's also helping her or manipulating her in a way.
She made a deal with the devil to
right.
Yeah, I think Mephisto came to her and was like, "This is how you can have vision. This is how you can. I'll show you. You can create this whole world where you can have vision." And I think she said yes to it, not knowing that he has got something else in mind for her. He wants those again, because we have these references to the children, for the children. So I think again, he was like, "Hey, you can have this world, you can have vision, but I'm gonna get them kids."
Right. And let's take it a step further. We've got that whole big picture. Doctor Strange was introduced because there needed to be a presence of magic within the universe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Do you honestly think that Doctor Strange does not know that there's something cosmically wrong in this world that's happening and is not going to figure out that she's the source of it?
Yeah.
Which is how it bleeds into the movie.
Exactly. And Cam, I have something to predict right off.
See what I have to do.
And Cam, I wanted to back off exactly what you were saying. So I have another prediction off of that. In my personal opinion, I also think so. Agnes right now is controlling Wanda. So just hear me out on this, because what's happening is Wanda is in this reality thing, right? And Agnes has not been mentioned, as we were saying, on the wall or anything like that. So because she's a witch. So I think it was this episode or a couple of episodes before, they mentioned something about June 2nd, 1619 something, whatever. There was a date, and that's the same date when the Salem witch trials happened, and also in real life. So what might happen is that somehow Agnes made a deal with the devil, like you guys were saying, to not hurt Wanda or whatever, or yada, yada, yada. But then somehow the deal was broken because of something that Agnes did, and she's protecting her from whatever's going to happen, who's ever trying to stop her or take her power, whatever. And the two sons that she has, Viv and Vin, those are their names, but they're not really her kids because they're the souls of Mephisto. Something is going to happen with that. Do we know? No, but I do think I agree with Cam 100%. But that's my theory.
Agreed. Man.
Okay. All right. Mo.
Oh, I mean, that's it for me. I think, I think there was some type of deal that has been made, but I think it's Mephisto. I think he's after those kids, and Wanda just doesn't know it yet. But I don't know have you guys seen the trailers that Disney has pushing out for WandaVision, where I think there's actually a scene where. And I'm touching back on what Cam said earlier, where you see Vision come out of the reality and he's Vision again. So he might be alive at some point in this series and gets out, and he might become the protagonist that has to stop Wanda. I don't know.
Good point.
I mean, you see him waking Agnes up in a sense, like he touches her head and she kind of becomes a little bit lucid. So there's something here, man.
There's something messed up.
Okay. RJ, what are your thoughts?
Ooh, I'm a student. I'm here to learn. I'm here to absorb. You guys have definitely I enjoy this show because I feel like it makes me appreciate it a little more, and I've learned a lot just from listening to you guys talk. Y'all done said it all. Every time I feel like I have an inkling of what I feel like is going to happen, y'all elaborate on it tenfold. So I don't think there's anything more I could add to this conversation other than I definitely agree with you guys, because the little things that I have predicted is small compared to how much you guys have opened up the universe. So I'm with y'all 100% on this one. Just copy and paste, basically.
Honestly, I feel the exact same way, y'all. My theory was just going episode to episode. You open the big picture for me. Talk about Mephisto and all of that. So
I would have never linked it.
I got a Marvel encyclopedia the other day, and I was looking at Speed, and it mentioned Mephisto, kind of the backstory on that, and that I hadn't noticed that. So it might have clicked for me a lot later, but right now y'all just put the links together for me. But I thought that was y'all predictions are spot on. If they don't do that, then I'm being probably disappointed.
You know me, man.
Like Kevin Feige, come hire us.
I know. Me and Cam.
Straight up. But with that was WandaVision, guys. The series is just looking great so far, and anything that y'all wanted to add to this? Because I'm just still mind blown from that theory.
I would do it next Friday already, but that's about it.
Right?
Straight up. So
I'm excited. I'm just excited for next week.
Yeah, next week will definitely come with a whole new adventures, questions answered. Maybe new theories can pop up. We shall see. Just make sure y'all tune in with us next week to check out the live. And with that, I forgot to do this at the beginning, but let me plug y'all's social medias. Blerd Up crew. Where can we follow y'all at?
We're at Blerd Up Reacts on Facebook, YouTube, soon to be Twitch. Looking to definitely expand, change up the format, and definitely get on the live with you guys a little bit more. This is fun, man.
You guys
it's good having you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were absolutely glad to have you guys on. It was really fun. We definitely want to have you on again, for sure.
Absolutely.
Jay, where can we get you at, man?
You can find me on Facebook, Hero Harrison Talk. Same thing, Instagram, Hero Harrison Talk. And I just made a Twitch channel. I've been on there pretty heavy now. And that same thing, Hero Harrison Talk. And you can feel free to email me, same thing, if you want any suggestions on our podcast for future, or just hit me up on any social media platform at Hero Harrison Talk.
Straight up. RJ.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Avatar Raiden. Make sure you follow For the Blerd Show across all social media platforms. Chances are, if you type in For the Blerd Show on any social media platform and it comes up, it's more than likely us. So make sure you hit us up and start a conversation. Join our Discord, which will be down in the description below in about 20 minutes. So yeah, join the discussion, guys. Join the BlerdVerse.
Join the BlerdVerse, and y'all can find me on Facebook Facebook at Trey Mosley, Instagram at Maximum_Spider, TikTok Spiderboy Trey, and we also on TikTok at Further Blurcher. So follow us on everything, and make sure you guys follow Blerd Up. They are putting out some fantastic content. Yeah, thank y'all for just tuning in. Blerd Up, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure. I hope we do some more stuff.
Always fun.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. You've been great.
Straight up. And without further ado, Blerd is Bond.
Blerd is Bond.
Blerd is Bond.